Brian here from Little King Watches. Thank you for watching part 2 of this how to polish pocket watch cases and wristwatches. If you watch part 1, you're going to see how this really pewtery tarnished pocket watch case from this beautiful turn of the century Waltham turned into this shiny hello there I am, brand new looking case and crystal. But today we're going to do a gold pocket watch. So I mentioned in the first video you have to be a little bit more careful because this is gold plated, so it's a thin layer of gold. We're going to bring this back to life. Now it already looks pretty good, but it's going to look even better when we are done. And I'm going to take this band off as well because I'm not the biggest fan, so I'm going to change out the band. I'm going to just do the head of the watch and away we go. Thank you for watching and let's dive in. Okay, so I'm going to get my very simple watch tool here, or my band tool. I'm going to get in. Glad that worked really well. I like to think that I've done thousands of these, but sometimes you get stuck with them for hours. I find that sometimes these old spring bars no longer spring. They kind of forget what they're supposed to do. I've actually had to cut some off before, which is just an absolute nightmare. I jinxed myself on how easy the first one worked. Okay, well. So I'm getting it, but it doesn't want to spring. So that's always a little bit alarming. I don't care about the band as much because there we go. Okay, so now we have the watch head ready to go. And as I said in the first video, I didn't realize that when I do a lot of work, it actually shakes the life out of the table here. So that's okay, so we're gonna be careful. And a lot of it you're gonna see me doing in the air. So I'm getting an absolute arm workout today. Once again, I'm doing this now in landscape thanks to a user. It's actually from Australia who mentioned to me that I was doing everything the other way. So I was actually doing everything horizontally, but that's just because I was used to doing things on Instagram and TikTok and some other stuff. So thank you to that user. You'll notice as well that I have a mat down now because I got a little bit of this material on my mat that I do some filming on. So that's why I have the gross mat out, but that's fine. So here's the watch, the band's off. As you can see, it looks pretty good. It's a stunning automatic Wittnauer with almost like a pie pan constellation type dial. I absolutely love it. But we're gonna see how this thing really cleans up. And my hands are all black because I just did the pocket watch clean. So you get kind of dirty doing this, but I find I need the grip. So let's see how it goes. We're gonna start, I put a little bit of this material, which will be up on the screen in a second, onto a Kleenex. So I should explain that, you might not watch part 1. And then I'm just going to do some very, very soft circle polish. As you can see, it gets worse, and look at the gunk coming off. Terrible. Just gonna move this camera, I apologize, a little bit closer because I find I'm working closer to me. Okay, and I hit the camera. Classic. Amateur hour. Okay. I don't wanna go too hard because like I said, my watchmaker has really warned me about this, that there is a thin layer of gold on these gold plate ones, and then it goes down to a base material and you don't want to go through. As you can see already, whoa, stunning. Look what came off of it already. All this black gunky material. Now I always usually go over more than once in one area. So I will apply more. That was a lot. Okay, we'll use some of that later. And I will go again. And as you can see, it's gonna be more black swirls, more gunk coming off. So it definitely needed a second one. Okay. So now I just changed the direction to really get that gunk off. And as you can see, like, wow, that helmet looks factory new. And you can see me again. Hello, not camera ready. Look at that and how shiny and beautiful that is compared to where we started, which is here. But I'm only gonna do half at a time so you can see the difference. You can already see there's a bunch of gunk in there, but what a cool case design. And a nightmare to clean. Well, that's fine. Okay. New piece here. We're just going to start polishing. There's no really rhyme or reason to where you start. I have a pattern. I always go case back, then I go opposite the crown side. I always go the case first, then I move to the legs. If you don't remove the band, you can actually get some of this black stuff on the band and it will tarnish it. So I really recommend taking the band off. I was taking it off because I didn't like it anyways, but Kleenex is very, very malleable. So you can get into this crease here. Wow, look at that. So you can see how shiny and beautiful that is to how tarnished and dull that is. And I hit the camera again. Okay, I'll apply some more material and I'll start working on the legs. Whoa. Look at it all coming off. Something so satisfying about this. Sometimes when I'm super stressed out from my day job, my 9 to 5, I can just sit and clean watches. My partner doesn't always love that. She's like, maybe we can spend some time together, but it is a super relaxing thing to just kind of sit alone and bring a watch that you thought was kind of done back to life. Like, look at all the gunk in it that has to come out. This side is a lot harder with the crown. And I am not going to claim to be an expert or someone who has mastered how to do this by any stretch of the imagination. My watchmaker showed me how to do this. I'm sure there's people out there who are better, who can do it faster, but I just spend a lot of time. I'm doing a little bit of a sped up version because I didn't think you guys would want to watch like a 30-minute video on how to do this. So I'm going a little faster than normal. Look at the gunk that came out of there. Oh my Lord. This is also sometimes where I find the Q-tip that I was using earlier on the pocket watch, which is why it's already dirty, very helpful in these small spaces. I know no one's going to see this inside area because it's going to be covered by the band, but might as well do it all. Okay, so we're going to get a new piece of Kleenex now. We're going to get it on the crown. Now, if you knock the crown a little bit, that's okay. It's allowed to spin, but you want to be really careful about knocking it side to side. Now, this watch and most of the watches I work with, we're talking are very, very old. We're talking vintage 1930s, 40s, 50s. They've been exposed to moisture in the air. They've been exposed to a lot of things. And you really just don't want to hit the crown side to side because if it breaks, it's fixable, but you're in a whole heap of problems that you did not have before. It's really starting to look good. What I've also done before is I've taken the Q-tip and I've put it over the Kleenex before if I need to get into like the crevasse. And as you can see, it got a bunch of gunk out of there that I wouldn't have been able to get with my hands. Okay, now I'm just gonna go over the crown a few times. Oh yeah, that's looking phenomenal. There's a spot there. I can't tell if that's actually just a dent, like someone nicked that at some point. Because with gold, it's changing the light that you really see. So I don't know if that's just gunk that I can get off, or is that a dent that someone did to the watch at some point. feel anything. I'll have to get my loop and really look at it. So it's cleaned up really well, but I still think that I would do a second clean on it, but that's fine. I'm gonna use this, I hit the camera again. I'm gonna use this used cloth that I already used on the pocket watch, because it's, like I said, I still use these a couple times in a row. That really gives it a beautiful shine now. That wasn't even me hitting the camera, that was just me shaking, I think, the whole friggin' room. It wasn't even going that hard. Okay, so the case is looking great. Like, absolutely beautiful, shiny, looks brand new. Now, we need to do the crystal. So I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna get my Poly watch, which is super expensive. I'm actually surprised, being an automatic, that this didn't start ticking right away. Okay, well, look at that. I already did some time tests on it. I find it's easier if I put it down on the ground, but I don't want to shake the camera too much. The crystal in this one was in really good shape. There was no major cracks or dents or chips away from the acrylic, which is just a form of plastic, but could always be cleaned up a little bit. And so now you basically just sit here. I might speed this part up because I just basically do these swirls for like a few minutes, maybe up to like 3 to 5 minutes. If there's an area that is bad, you have to sand and then, you know, apply poly watch, polish, apply poly watch, polish, and you go back and forth for a very long time. But this crystal was in really good shape, as you can already see. It's looking great. Shaking the camera, so I will lift it up. Ooh, I actually found one. I didn't see that earlier. I guess there was too much gunk on it. Actually a little nick, but that might be able to come out. So we'll apply some more. Oh, there we go. The watch started. I guess I just hadn't moved it enough. As you can see, it's ticking. So I apologize. I'm gonna have to just apply a little bit more pressure because I saw some surface level scratches. Sorry if this is shaking the camera. I'll try to speed this part up. There we go. It's gone. Beautiful. As you can see, stunning Wittnauer automatic with this pie pan feel. I'm gonna polish the case one more time. I'm gonna pause it for a second while I go pick a band because I don't even know what size this is. And then I'll come back and show you as I reapply. Okay, I cleaned up my hands. I can actually manipulate this now. I got my tool. All of these, except for this one, have spring bars already in them. And then basically what I do is I look at it and I say, how would the look go with this? Now, this gray kind of like lizard skin is stunning, but I don't know if it fits the sporty vibe of the watch, so I would say no. Then I go to this more like, hit the camera again, this alligator vibe, and I would say works for a dress watch. While this is a time-only dress watch, I think it's got so much more potential than that, and I think it could also be used as a part sport. So I'm gonna put this one aside. Now I'm gonna look at black. That looks pretty sharp. So going to accent off the black second hand. It's the black writing. I have just this brown that I actually took off one of my old ones, so it's almost brand new. That gives it a real cool look. I really like that with this type of almost like semi-patinaed dial. And then there's my absolute favorite, which is anything with white stitching, and it's going to give it that kind of sporty vibe. So I'm going to say it's between black, which can be sporty or dressy. And now I'm going to go to the second phase of deciding. So I'm actually going to see what it looks like. Okay, that looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But then I also would have a little bit more of a sporty vibe. And I think that fits the style of the watch as well. You tell me what you think. If it should be black, or if it should be brown, or should it have actually been brown with no stitching at all? Oh, such a hard decision. I like the dark brown, but I like the stitching, but I like the black. I always usually go brown with stitching. I think it really just pairs well with that dial. And I like the sporty look. So that's what I'm gonna go. Okay. Not even paying attention. Okay, so if someone else wants a different band, as you can see, I have some options. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm here, I got it lined up, I gotta pull the spring bar down and let it fit under. Oh, it's like I'm a pro. That went in so easy. Usually they take a little longer. Ooh, as you can see, someone got a little nick in there trying to put in maybe a spring bar, or they knocked it on something in the past. So I'm gonna be very careful here. It is a soft gold case. I heard the click. I always do the test. I always give it a little pull. And ta-da! What a stunning watch. Always was beautiful, but now it's brought back to life. And it's like it's brand new. Thank you for watching. This is Ryan from Little King Watches. Hope you enjoyed this little restoration project and maybe see a little bit of the time and effort that I put into these vintage pieces. Gives me a lot of joy, but it is a little bit of time and effort. So this is a side hobby. It's why it takes me so long to get through these. Thank you for watching, and as always, subscribe for more vintage watches.